Now moving on to the performance side of things, the Samsung Galaxy S10e has a Qualcomm Snapdragon 855 chipset, an octa-core CPU, an Adreno 640 GPU, and 2 different models of this device. The base model had 6 gigs of RAM, and the top tier model had 8 gigabytes of RAM. So keep this in mind, the bottom tier model doesn't necessarily have as much RAM as the S21, but the top tier model of the S10e has, the same amount of RAM as the S21 and the S21 Plus. So again, another huge reason why the Galaxy S21 isn't really a crazy big upgrade coming from even like a Galaxy S10e, but again, once I get that phone in-house, I'll go and test it further. But the Galaxy S10e's performance on One UI 2 and hopefully coming on One UI 2.5 and 3 is going to be really good for the most part. I mean, you're going to be getting extremely good quick capability from this type of performance. It doesn't have the latest chipset, it doesn't have the craziest amount of specs inside of it, but the specs that it does have, the RAM and even the Snapdragon processor, are actually really good chipsets. It's a really good mixture. You're not going to be getting crazy smooth 120Hz refresh rate like performance, but whatever you're going to do with it is going to be perfectly fine, as long as you're not comparing this phone to something like a Galaxy S21 or a Xiaomi Mi 11 or something. Then you're probably not going to feel left out. The performance of this phone is still really, really good in terms of basic tasks. If you're somebody who just wants to go ahead and just text people, call people, go on Snapchat, TikTok, this, that, and that, for the smaller things, you're going to have a pretty good experience. Even if you have to go and step it up to, heavier intensive gaming, even video editing, photo editing from this specific device, you're probably going to be okay. The screen size is a little bit smaller to some people's standards, but still it's a 5.8-inch panel. It's perfectly fine. But the performance in it is going to be perfectly fine. You know what I mean? Like, I would kind of still say the Galaxy S8's performance isn't really horrible, but this specific device is still going to be getting you really, really good performance for the most part. Again, definitely not perfect performance. You're going to see a lot of choppiness, in my opinion, from just probably the software sake. If you're swiping out of something, if you're going to a different app, the animations might not be the smoothest, but you're still going to be getting a pretty okay performance, even in terms of the smoothest factor. But the raw speed, if you're trying to go from one point to the other, you're definitely going to be getting a really good performing phone from the Samsung Galaxy S10e still in 2021 when you consider the price and the age of this device. So in terms of that pretty much covers it up. Now,